Hey guys, it's Diabetic Girl. Welcome back to my channel. For those of you who saw my last video bashing Medtronic's 530G and calling it a first impression, well, I'm not sorry because I felt like it needed to be said. For those of you who have not seen that video, the link is down below. Anyways, as you guys know, my last video was a first impression video of the Medtronic Minimed 530G insulin pump with Enlight sensor, and to say the least, I wasn't very pleased with the first day I was on it. But luckily, as Medtronic always does, I found that my next couple of days were a lot better on the pump, so I wanted to talk about those with you guys. And hopefully make you guys realize that my entire channel is not just a bunch of first world problems, even though it's really starting to seem like that, isn't it? Just me? No, it can't. It can't be just me. I'm really starting to notice that, like, my life is just a giant first world problem that I'm too lazy to fix. So anyways, as you guys know, if you watched the last video, I put my sensor in on Thursday night, and Thursday was the 18th of February. Today is the 22nd of February. So I've had about 4 days to really let it marinate. I love that word for some reason. I don't use it when I talk about meat, but I use it when I talk about my sensor. I'm weird. So I had 4 days to let it really sit and really get to know my body, basically. So after the initial video that I filmed where I was, like, kind of ticked off and, like, you know, having a first world problem again, I decided to go ahead and calibrate my sensor and see if it would pick up on my dawn effect. For those of you who don't know, the dawn effect is basically an initial rise in your blood sugar when you first wake up. It is very common. Most people need to give insulin for it almost immediately. So I decided to calibrate it, you know, to pick up on my dawn effect. So after I had done that, it was picking up on the dawn effect and it was moving pretty well. And I was like, all right, this is great. So, you know, I took my shower and I got ready to go because I had a professional video shoot that day. And luckily it was just for a friend, so they totally understood if I was, like, fidgeting with a pump. But I obviously didn't want to be fidgeting too much because, you know, it's a professional shoot. You want to be the best you can be. So I walked to my shoot. I had, like, a little backpack because I had all the stuff I had to bring. It was something else. So basically, I got there and it seemed pretty accurate, and I was pretty happy with myself. And the next time I checked, it was like when we ate lunch, and it was pretty on top of it. So that made me, you know, really happy for obvious reasons. And then Friday night was still pretty accurate. Got a couple of readings that were basically the same, and I mean, that was, like, basically it for that. Yesterday, this CGM legitimately saved my life. For those of you who follow me on Instagram, I posted a video. What is a video? I posted a photo this morning about a conversation between Kai and I because I kept going low, and my CGM kept alerting me that I was low, and, like, went into thrush suspend, and it was just absolutely terrible. And I was like, well, today is the day I die. That's what I said to him. We were working together yesterday. So, and he was like, no, don't be ridiculous. So I treated the low blood sugar that it said I had, and then I checked again 15 minutes later, and my CGM and pump reading were the exact same. My CGM said I was 68 and dropping, and my meter would also confirm that I was 68. So I was like, I was, like, really excited, and it was very awkward. You should not dance at work. So anyways, at that point in time, I had a couple of glucose tabs to bring the blood sugar back up, and I went about my business, but I did call my dad and ask him to bring me juice boxes because for me, when I go low, it's not like a singular low. It's like I'm low for an hour, and then I finally, like, spike. It's absolutely terrible. So I asked my dad if he could bring me juice boxes, and I'm actually really excited because if you guys see this shelf back here next to my bookcase, that is actually all of my diabetes supplies. I went out on Friday night and bought a new rack for them, and I'm very excited, but that's not about this video. So basically, I was like, at that point in time, after I saw that most of the blood sugars were the same, I knew that I could basically trust the pump for the rest of the day because I was working as a floral manager, so I didn't really have time to be running around and, like, doing a ton of blood sugar checkings, even though manager on duty was really good about it and was like, if you need to do whatever, just do it, you know, it's fine. but I obviously didn't want to waste a ton of time. So I was very, very impressed because they were basically on, like, perfectly together. And obviously that made me happy as a user because then I knew that I could trust what my CGM was telling me. So I got to my lunch break and my blood sugar was 139 and my CGM said I was like 217 and I was like, all right, it probably didn't catch up with the fallback from the jumps that I had. All right, that's fine. So I left work last night and I was going over to Kai's house for a little while after work, and I got in the car and I had to recheck my blood sugar because, again, the pump was alerting, telling me I was going low. So I checked my blood sugar and it was actually pretty spot on. I mean, it said I was dropping rapidly, which is usually when it starts to pick up all my lows. So it said I was 105 but dropping rapidly, and I was 70. And I'm noticing that when I'm like in that 70 range, it starts to say that I'm dropping rapidly because it's starting to pick up on my low. So I drank another juice box, and for those of you who want to know, I drink Apple and Eve juice boxes, and they have like a full serving of fruit and vegetables in them. So I was like, I got all my fruits and veggies for the day because I went low so often. How terrible is that? Like, seriously, how terrible is that? So, you know, I'm like, all right. So I take the juice box and I recheck about 15, 20 minutes later, and my CGM says I'm 93, and my meter says I'm 93. So again, I'm very, very, very excited that it both it matches up, and that I don't have to worry about it. So I'm like, yes, yes, yes. So then I go over to Kai's house. I eat dinner. For those of you who don't know, I eat Chipotle like there's no tomorrow. Okay, ready for this? I had E. coli in the hospital, and I'm pretty sure that it could have been from Chipotle because I have a Chipotle problem, and I still eat it. What's wrong with me? A lot, but that's like another video for another time. And by that I mean it's never going to get made, so don't keep your hopes up. So I ate dinner. I bolused like 45 carbs because I was 99 at that point in time, so I didn't want to like over bolus. I would rather be a little bit higher than low. I hate being low. So basically, you know, some stuff goes on and my pump starts alerting that I am going low, and I'm like, well, I'm not surprised based off of what just happened. And it was really funny because Kai was like, oh, well, do you think you're low? I'm like, oh, I don't know. I didn't check. I should have, but it said I was 90, and I only had 1 hour going down, so I wasn't like super worried about it. And he was like, well, 90 does seem a little low. And I was like, well, I was only 99 at dinner, so I should be okay. And of course, he's like talking about it, and it was something else. And so then I got home from everything, and my blood sugar was 108, and my CGM read 112. So for those of you who don't know, most continuous glucose monitoring systems have a gap of approximately 30, or it's like 20 to 30%, I believe. So it may not always be spot on, and that is totally okay. You just want it to be generally close to what your blood sugar is. You know, you shouldn't be correcting off of it or anything, but you do want it to be super close. So in my last video, I was pretty upset with Medtronic, and I was definitely not happy, and I was debating throwing the pump out the window. But I do have to say I am very impressed now. As the days keep going, the alarming at night is less and less, which is good because that first night it alarmed like every 20 minutes for like an hour and a half. And for those of you who don't know, I really like to sleep, so I was miserable. Last night it only went off once to tell me I was high, and sure enough, I woke up, I walked all the way over to this beautiful this shelf, because that's where I keep all my stuff now, and I checked my blood sugar, and I was 379. So I was like, alright, so it's definitely getting better with knowing my body and everything. So the whole thing where like you wear a CGM for longer, the more accurate it gets, is definitely 100% true. And I knew this before, but I was still really hesitant because, you know, this pump is supposed to be like super accurate, especially with the threshold suspend kind of thing. So I was just like, oh, all right, whatever. So I was obviously very excited to see that it was like starting to go into place. And then also I'm very excited to announce that in a couple of days I can make a video about the Medtronic Connect system. And for those of you who don't know what it is, basically it is a Bluetooth uploader that will upload my CGM results to my phone, and then, you know, a selected group of people will get text messages when I go high or low, and they'll be able to look at everything, and I can send all of my reports to my doctors and my endocrinologist, and I'm very excited about this. That'll be here tomorrow, so I'll probably do, like, maybe I'll actually do an unboxing and setup video tomorrow, because I don't work until later in the afternoon, and it should be here in the morning. So maybe that's what I'll do tomorrow. Maybe. I don't want to, like, make a promise like I did with the Lord's Hope bracelet and then not be able to follow through because I've got work or whatever. But I feel like that might be a good idea. So for those of you who are on the 530G or Medtronic Revel, we can definitely do that together and have a lot of fun. And by that I mean I'll probably have fun because I'm so excited about this. This was like when I first started looking at the 530G originally, I like wanted this piece, and then Kai was like, yeah, I want it, and I was like, done. And then when I got my paycheck the other day, I bought it, so I'm very excited to see how it works and what it does. I heard that you can actually get it to like go into your like drop down menu, like here you can get it to go here. So I'm excited to see that. It should be good. So yeah, I will see you guys later. Thank you so much for watching, for your love and support, and as always, stay safe and have a good day. I don't know why I said as always. I've never said that before, but yeah. Thanks for everything, guys. Bye.